Hey, this is me reporting again. I just had to stop and delete the video because I just took my meds, so I'm getting a little loopy. But I wanted to share this thought before I went to sleep because the passion is still burning inside me. And I actually did the report Wednesday, which was the 6th of April. I typed it and I turned it in. But one of my blessed professors gave me a great topic. All of us, all the students to learn about, and the topic has been the controversy of the market house of Fayetteville. She had us listen to various researchers. It was a lot of commentary from a young lady who works for the Fayetteville Observer. If you see me stuttering or not looking like I'm tired, that stuff is quick. But I wouldn't really speak or have a strong opinion about the market house of Fayetteville because I'm not from Fayetteville, to be 100, and I'm not even from the South in that matter. And what I've learned in my years, African American men who are from the South are very much more passionate about racism. Sorry about that. It's the meds. They're very much more passionate about it because the South really hasn't changed a great deal. I mean, it's changed in regard to black men aren't being hung in the daytime, but there's still a lot of injustice in the South. Racist citizens or bigots, or what you would call them, they're very much more comfortable with disrespecting a black man. I'm from Michigan, and if a white man ever called us the N-word, we would wait on it. Please call us the N-word. And we were going to get you. We was going to put our hands on you. But down here is much more apparent, because the South was the heart of, racism, and it was much more harsher. I said that wrong. It was much more harsh here. But, if I had to make an opinion, or if I had to share my opinion, I would actually vote to keep it standing. I'll tell you why after I get done with this. I'm lollygagging. But in this report, I found out about a man named Archibald Beebe. And Mr. Beebe was at home when a sheriff came to his house and kidnapped him. It was Sunday, February 10th, 1867. And they accused him of sexually assaulting a white woman. That might not be the exact charge, but it was a sexual crime. Yeah, I believe it was sexually, it wasn't assaulting, it was sexually violating a white woman. And the next Monday, they took Mr. BB to the market house of Fayetteville so he can stand trial. And, Sheriff Hardy, I believe, they said was his name. When they took him up, they brought him downstairs. Now, he went to trial the next day. I'm sorry, I forgot to explain that. He went to trial the very next day, February 11th, on a Monday. They said when he came down, with Sheriff Hardy, and he was probably confined or chained up, or, an angry mob came towards Mr. BB. And this mob was armed with pitchforks and knives and poles, and I'm going to guess that Sheriff Hardy tried to help or deter the mob from disrupting justice. But honestly, when they rolled thick, they rolled thick. They came with knives, and I presume that they stabbed Mr. BB a few times. And he fell to the ground, and when he got up, a man, I believe by the name of William Toller, or Toller, or whatever, shot him in the back of his head, right behind his left ear. And these men were taken and charged with murder. It was 3 of them. One of them was Thomas Powers. I forgot the last one's name. And in the trial, the Honorable Robert Simmons, who is one of the founders of Fayetteville State University, he opened a school off of Gillespie Street, which has turned into Fayetteville State University, representing my HBCU. He testified against those 3 men, and originally they were given a sentence of the death penalty, which was to be lynched. Yada, yada, yada. It was appealed, and it was dropped to 15 years. And then guess what? This is what made me real mad, like real mad. President Andrew Johnson pardoned him after 1 year in prison. 1 year. Murdering a man on the southwestern or southeastern corner in downtown, in front of the market house, and he shot a man in the back of his head, and the president pardoned him after he was supposed to be serving a 15-year sentence. That's what makes me angry. The disrespect. But I'm not going to act like I'm surprised, because, they said that we were 3/5 of a man. The disrespect, that's why African Americans, minorities, we all need to come together. A fist hurt more than an open hand. The disrespect, and then when they came home, guess what they did, y'all? They threw these mother effers a parade and treated them like heroes for murdering a black man. I was very angry. You really have to watch how you teach your kids about slavery, because slavery and, the things that minorities as blacks dealt with in the South and all the violence that we took. You really have to be careful how you teach them because it's traumatizing. It pissed me off. My whole dang on debate, when I wrote my discussion, I'm pretty sure the school was going to be calling me. I told them something like, because they violated this man's, 4th or 5th and 14th Amendment rights. And I said, you know what? Y'all always want to violate somebody's rights when it benefits you. But when it doesn't, y'all did not give that man a fair trial. And he was murdered in your custody. I can't even imagine how scared he was. That's crazy, man. It made me mad. But the thing that made me mad, like extremely mad, that fueled me to write a crazy ASS report is that a president pardoned him after a year. You couldn't even do 10 years? Crazy, right? It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And the only way we can gain our respect is by sticking together. But, not gonna get into that. So you really have to watch out how you raise your kids, because I took a class again when I was 19, African American history class, and I ain't like Caucasians for 6 months. I was mad. I wanted revenge. When I hear about them Trail of Tears, how they moved them Indians from one region to the next, and how vicious they treated them when they were walking states. Some of them barefooted, and some of them died on the trail, and they were beating them, making them go. It makes me want revenge. And just the disrespect. Forget the market house. Take Andrew Johnson's name off the president's list that we see when we open them books. And he was former President Lincoln's vice president, and that's the assassination. He came into play. I understand completely why he only did 4 years, because from his decision, he freaking sucks, and I hope that he's rotting in hell. It's disrespect. But when it comes to the marketplace, the market house of Fayetteville, I think that we should keep it up. I think it would benefit us, minorities, African Americans. You know how? Because that's the closest that we're going to get to our ancestors. That's one. Secondly, every time that we look at that thing and we see it, we should remind ourselves that we would never be so weak that we allow another race or anyone to sell us like a raisin bag, or sell us like we're in a grocery store. Every time that we ride past that market house, I want it to piss you off a little bit. And then take that and think about how we should never let any man have such dominion over us where we are just sold like products. And that is how I think about it. I wouldn't vote to tear it down. I wouldn't ask to tear it down. That was what I told them when I wrote it. I said, look, if I wanted it tore down so bad, I wouldn't be asking nobody. We got the divine right. If you did something to my people in there, and I felt like, oh yeah, I want to I burn it down my goddamn self. I know it's a federal offense, but war is war. But no, you gotta be smarter than that. Every time you see it, you think about it, go in it, read it, touch it, and remind yourself to never, ever let any race, nation, anything have that much dominion over us, or they can separate us from our families, our kids, our wives, and sell us like the morning newspaper. And that's my answer. I told them in a discussion, I said, I don't think white people should have a say in it, because it's not going to piss you off like how that pissed me off. I said something like, that Constitution ain't worth the paper I need to wipe my ass if I was sitting on the toilet. 'Cause I'm tired of lies, man. It's a lie. But even I have to acknowledge that I am protected by the First Amendment, which is my freedom of speech. So you can get mad, but don't get glad. The only way that we can make sure that no other nation has dominion over us is, first we have to seek God, because He will fight our battles for us. But we have to stick together. We have to stick together. All this rap music that, the white man or masters or whatever, they're the same ones who are building prisons. The same ones who are building prisons are paying these rappers to say stupid things like, everybody idolizes that war in Chicago. It's cool. I watch it. It's kind of like crazy to watch. It's like, wow, you killed how many people? But, we should never celebrate a culture that disrespects each other. Or we should never, glory in a culture that disrespects our men, our women, and our children. We should find different things to say, because, all of that is power, and how we think is power. But it's a terrible feeling to hear about Mr. BB's story, and the fact that I've never heard about him. He doesn't even have a statue downtown. I seen all the other statues, Lafayette, the guy who founded Fayetteville, but you don't have a statue of a man who was, or a plaque to honor him that was murdered in the justice system's care. And not even that, nobody even has told me about this man. But it pissed me off pretty good. I might be getting calls from the school, because it made me so mad. It was like, oh God. That what made me angry the most is just knowing that those gentlemen were pardoned by a president after a year. So I'm about to take my ASS to sleep, man. I'm tired, tired. But thank you for listening, whoever's listening. It's a beautiful day. Y'all have a good one. Stay prayed up. Stick together. I'm out.